Okay, so here's video 2. We're starting at number 18. And what we're looking at with number 18 is good old isosceles triangle. If you picked up on these little markings, you're halfway where you need to be. If my sides are congruent, that means my base angles are also congruent, meaning that 50 degrees is both of my base angles. A triangle has 180 degrees in it, and if I subtract the two 50s, that leaves me with 80 degrees, which is x. Why is number 19 different? Because this time I'm not giving you a value, I want you to solve for x. So angle 2, the measure of angle 2, right, is 56 plus x. Since this is an isosceles triangle, the other angle is also 56 plus x. So what I would do is I would say 180 is the sum of 80 plus 56 plus x plus 56 plus x. And you would just go to town on that. 100 is, let's see, that's 112 plus 2x. Subtract the 112. And you'd get negative 12 equals 2x. X is negative 6. Again, you know the follow-up question is going to be, well, how big is the angle then? So we would substitute 56 plus negative 6 is 50. Does it make sense that my base angles would both be 50? Because it sums up to a total of 180. That is correct, and everything checks out. All right, so this is what we like to call spicy. We have to look at one piece at a time, and I've talked to you about that. So I want you to just look at this one piece at a time, okay? I have my markings that mean my base angles are congruent, so that means this is 66 degrees up here. So if I have 66 and 66, 180 minus 66 minus 66, and again, grabbing Mr. Calculator, or Miss Calculator, your choice, you know your calculator better than I do, is 48 degrees. How's that going to help me? Well, I don't know. Let's move the box and see what happens. Oh, that's part of a 90-degree angle. I see. So if I already have 48, then I would say 90 minus 48, and that would give me 42 degrees. But why did you need that, Miss Meyer? I'm glad you asked. Because this is 42 degrees here as well, and it all leads me up to angle 2. Angle 2 is not an exterior angle because this is not a straight angle. What I have to do now is say 180 equals x plus 106, so that's this bit, right? And 42 and 42. Make your eye track where I got those numbers from. Pause the video and tell your brain, you must figure this out. 180 equals x plus, grab a calculator. I'm not checking your ability to do integers right now. I have x as negative 10. That doesn't mean angle 2 is negative 10. It says x is negative 10. So negative 10 plus 106 is 94. I wonder if that works. I wonder if 94 plus 42 plus 42 equals 180. Oh, I subtracted wrong. That was the sound of me looking at my math saying, how come that didn't work? Well, because negative 10 plus 106 is 96. Sorry about that. So now it does equal 180. Ha! Sometimes it does turn out as a not correct answer, like when we did our triangles and we got not enough information. Whew, okay, you cannot do number 21 or number 22 because we're not doing those right now, so cross those out. Angle bisectors. If my angle is bisected, and if this is actually a perpendicular bisector, is what it would have to be, then these two pieces are congruent. And these two pieces are congruent. When we have algebraic values, we change the word congruent to equal. And we say 6x plus 5, because that's angle 1, is equal to 5x plus 11. X equals 6. So how do I figure out how big each angle is? 6 times 6 plus 5. 5 times 6 plus 11. 36 plus 5 is 41. 30 plus 11 is also 41. My math is correct. Find x if angle 2 is 28 plus 1 and angle DBC is 58x. This one's tricky. It tries to get you. So DBC is this big one. Looks happy now, doesn't it? That's 58x. Angle 2 is 28x plus 1. So since there's two of these to make up one of the big arcs, I would say 2 times 28x plus 1 equals 58x. So I could just divide both sides by 2, and I'd have 28x plus 1 equals 29x. Oh, that was nifty. That was nifty. Combine like terms and you wind up with x equals 1. All right, so if that's true, 58 times 1 is 58. Half of 58 is 29. 28 times 1 plus 1 is 29. Check, check. So when you see angle bisector, you need to know that that means these pieces are congruent. So you set them equal. And every now and then my Notability jams up, so there we go. We are now on number 25. These are the symbols for mid-segment. Okay, so if these pieces are cut in half and these pieces are cut in half, these pieces need to be cut in half. So from here to here, half of 12 is 6. Neat. We also know with mid-segments, now is when we need to crack out the highlighter, we know that the mid-segments are parallel to the parallel side. So we want to name a segment parallel to the one given. The one given is MP. What's parallel to MP? It would be side FG. Cool. All right, now let's remember that again. I remember this homework. It was pretty okay. I remember that 2x minus 8 is half of negative 8 plus 3x. You have two choices here. You could distribute the 1/2, which just makes you deal with the 3/2 x, which is not that big a deal. Or you could undo 1/2 by multiplying by 2. I'm going to choose to multiply by 2 because dividing by 2 and multiplying by 2 are opposites. Now things are going to be a little bit easier. I'm going to add 16 to both sides. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides and get x is 8. Now, you know what's going to happen, right? I'm going to say, what do you do with the 8? Well, we take the 8 and we plug it in. So 24 minus 8 is 16. And 16 minus 8 is 8, and guess what? That works. I get my mid-segment value of half. Remember what we talked about last class, that the mid-segment distance is always half of the base, the parallel base. 2x minus 4 is equal to half of x plus 10. Again, multiply both sides by 2. You get 4x minus 8, x plus 10, 3x equals 18, x is 6. So 6 plus 10 is 16, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. It still works. Neat. So 30 minutes to go through that whole thing. And the multiple choice that you're going to have and the free response you're going to have will be just like that, a little shorter, but just that same concepts. Go ahead and make sure you are ready for your test on Wednesday or Thursday.